decline in these two verticals in this quarter. And given our forecasts and given all the projections, we do believe there will be a good recovery in these verticals in the coming quarter.
Okay, confident about a good recovery. But can it get back to double digit, or will it be a mid-single digit kind of a recovery year on year for tech and telecom?
I think we are right now focused on sequential improvements. I really don't have a good sense of the year-on-year numbers.
And ER&D spending, the worst is behind us, the cuts that we've seen.
That's right.
On the whole. Okay. Prateek, can you talk about on the margin front what happened? We've seen a sharp drop in the margins, yet you maintain your full year guidance of 18 to 19%. What makes you confident you will be able to achieve it?
So, Reema, good morning again. So first of all, the revenue impact does go down to quite an extent, while obviously we've taken a lot of actions during the quarter, which has prevented the whole thing from percolating down. But that is the real big factor. Apart from that, going forward, we have already taken and announced some of the actions. We do have an action plan beyond that. And the actions that we have announced are related to the salary increments. So for the senior employees, there will be no increments this year, given where we have started the year in Q1 with. And for the junior and mid employees, there would be a deferral of 1 quarter. So those are the announcements we already made yesterday. And there are actions beyond that to make sure we derive the cost savings that are necessary to meet the numbers that we have set for ourselves. And that is where the confidence comes from that we will achieve those numbers.
What will be the savings on the margin due to the changes that you've effected on the wage front this year?
I mean, I can't really quantify the exact thing. That's not something we've published, but it is a meaningful amount. I'll just leave it at that.
And what are the other changes, if I may ask, if you could elaborate on the cost rationalized? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, in a way, if you look at a normal year across the 3 quarters, which is Q2 to Q4 for us, the total impact does add up to something like 150 basis points, but that's on an annualized basis. Because we spread it across 3 quarters for the year, the impact is lower, and we are not cutting all of it, we are cutting some of it.
Okay. CVK, getting back to the acquisition that you've announced early this morning, you've acquired a German automotive engineering company called ASAP for 154 million euros. Take us through the rationale, the synergies, the margins on this acquired company, and once you integrate it, what could be the growth potential and how much can it contribute in H2?
Yeah, so Reema, it's 154 million euros in revenue in calendar year 2022. We are paying 250 plus million euros for this acquisition. If you look at overall ER&D spend, almost 20% of the global ER&D spend is focused on automotive verticals. Today, there is so much happening in terms of mobility, autonomous and connected kind of vehicles, and that's where this company is focused on. And Germany is again a very big market for the automotive business. So we think it's a perfect, and we are a little bit under-indexed in that space. We've been always highlighting that we were under-indexed on the automotive side, and this is going to give us a big support in really reaching out to customers and also having the right offerings, which will really drive momentum here. We expect the acquisition to really get closed by this quarter, which is September of this year. And the second half will fully contribute. So if it is 153, half of that, 76, 77 million euros. Obviously, it's been a growing company, so there'll be some more growth on top of it. That's where we are.
And CVK, the full year guidance of 6 to 8% that you'd given in April was prior to this acquisition. So the guidance is organic, or will it include?
Yeah, we've always maintained that our guidance is organic, so 6 to 8% is organic. Whatever contribution from ASAP will be incremental to the organic guidance numbers that we've shared.
Okay. And very quickly, CVK, on generative AI. All clients are very curious, they're interested, they're working on projects which involve Gen AI. Can you tell us, will there be any revenue benefit to companies like HCLTech, maybe in FY24 or FY25, or it's going to be post that? And will it be deflationary?
Yeah, I think both are very relevant questions, Reema. Right now, we've been working on AI and some of the work that we're doing, starting from the chips that are required for AI, all of that has been happening in the company, including AI Ops, all of that for the last many years. But coming to generative AI, I think a lot of conversations are around the level of innovation that is possible using generative AI. We have close to 70 projects, including internal and external projects on this in POC implementation in various phases. So I think right now, I don't see a meaningful revenue contribution. It is going to be very small POCs, but some big enterprises are looking at a strategy for generative AI within their enterprise, which means there is going to be a lot of peripheral revenues, right? Like data integration, all of that is some of the prerequisites to get, and cloud adoption, all of that are going to get accelerated for better leverage of a technology like generative AI. So right now, I think the revenue contribution purely from this will be very small, but I think it will pick up as more and more companies get their AI strategy in place. I do think there'll be some pickup. There is also, efficiency is one of the biggest expectation. Our customers are constantly asking us for the art of the possible. So we have several POCs working, but I think this is at least a couple of years away, because there is many intricate issues to be resolved before it can be really adopted in a big way within enterprise automation. So I think it's a little time away, I think.
Okay, that's the management of HCLTech. Very important discussion, actually. The key takeaway is that they do acknowledge that there are challenges in several verticals, but they also say that things will definitely recover from here. So they've taken a large part of the brunt now, and they feel that things will recover. Unfortunately, there are no increments for the senior employees this year, but that's also because of how challenging the environment is at the moment. But the stock is not down too much. So, as you were saying, it could be positioning, because the market has been very cautious going into the earnings. And I think it knew what to expect.
Yeah, that's why the market is totally net short on HCLTech. So, if it doesn't fall too much, I'll be interested to see how much the stock can recover from these levels. It's down only 1%. Last 5 sessions, it's down 8%. So, let's see how this goes. But pre-positioning, valuation support as well, and no cut in the guidance as well could support the stock a little bit. But let's get in our technical expert, Srikanth, as well as Mitesh are with us. Morning, gentlemen. Mitesh, you go first. Trade on the index and your calls as well.
Morning, Nigel. I think very clearly on the index, we have maintained that aggressive buying or fresh buying should be done once we see the Nifty spot get past levels of 19,525, 530. So I think that might not happen today. We'll open stronger and higher, but I think I'll take a long trade, a fresh trade only once we start getting past 19,520. But yeah, on the stock side, we've been trading with long bias. So I'll just cover the calls as well. Have a buy call on Biocon with a stop at 254 for targets of 270. And in DC is a buy with a stop at 109 for targets of 116. Syngene, disclaimer, it's a part of my portfolio. That's a buy with a stop at 766 for targets of 810. And Gas Authority is the buy call as well. The stop at 108, buy for targets of 117.
Okay, appreciate your thoughts. Mitesh, thanks a lot for joining us and giving us all of those stock ideas. By the way, it's very interesting what's happening in the market now. TCS is actually trading in the green. So perhaps the street also believes that the worst maybe could be over in terms of the stock price move. TCS anyway had no negative surprises this time. So that has provided a bit of a relief for the stock, largely in line with expectations, the numbers. Srikanth Chauhan is also joining in. Srikanth, quickly, if you can run us through your Nifty targets as well as individual stocks that you're looking at.
Yeah, good morning, Surya. I think, the dollar index, which was around 102, is trading below the mark of 100.50, which is extremely positive for all these emerging markets. Based on that, we are of the view that we should be buyer even at current levels with a stop loss at 19,400. We are expecting Nifty to hit the levels of 19,600 or maybe 650. The stocks which we like is State Bank of India, which is currently trading around 590, 595. Here we are expecting targets close to 610, 615. We can keep stop loss at 584. And the other stock which we like is JSW Steel. It has consolidated and taken a lot of time, but now it is heading for the levels of 850. We can keep stop loss somewhere close to 795.
Okay. Okay, all right, gentlemen, thanks a lot for that. Well, we got a few minutes to get into market opening. For the time being, the big boy HDFC Bank, well, that's up close to around 1.5%. Remember, yesterday there was a bit of a rejig that took place. That was the last day for HDFC Limited to trade.